Hello. This is Eliza Bloom Robinson, Transformational Catalyst. I just heard myself say this is, you know who I am, right? You know my name because you're here. Anyway, I'm Eliza. So great to see you today. This is day 4 in our activation series, and we're tackling a big topic today. We're tackling the idea of shame. And shame is such a hidden disease. I'm going to call it disease. It's a hidden virus. It's a hidden energetic that hits people across the board. It hits primarily women, and men are not excluded from shame. But shame is something that it's like in the fabric. It's like if we have a fabric that is our lives, that is a tapestry, and it is one small thread for most of us. Some of us have really big shame things, and then you need probably more professional help. And shame is also something that is, well, let me put it this way. Generally speaking, shame is not ours. Generally speaking, shame is that feeling that's a mix of regret, self-hatred, loathing, dishonor. Generally, it's a feeling that when it gets activated, it causes people to shrink. It causes me to shrink. Generally speaking, when shame gets activated, there's an outside trigger, right? Something will happen. Somebody will say something, or you'll stumble into something, or you'll make a mistake. Something will happen, and this thing that I'm calling shame today, this thing will wash up and over like this big old wet blanket, just like, blah, and almost suck the life force out of you. I mean, really, it causes despair in some people. It causes some people to lash out. You know, think about the fight, flight, freeze syndrome. When we're threatened, we're either going to fight, or we're going to run, or we're going to freeze. Both running and freezing are both really hiding for a sense of protection. But the thing about shame is it's very seldom not even ours. It's inherited. And I'm not saying it's your parents either, but it's inherited over the generations. And I don't know exactly where it came from, but I know its impact. I've worked with a lot of people over the years that get stuck. And what we find when we dig deep, when we do the work really to open and to move forward, is there's a layer of shame in there. I have shame pop up periodically. Somebody said something to me the other day that just it hurt my feelings. It was like, ow, that hurt. But instead of getting mad and looking at what really got triggered, I felt myself just shrink down into this little tiny, like, oh, geez, oh, maybe I am bad, and maybe I am wrong, and maybe I am broken, and maybe I'm not what I think I am, and maybe. It's this negative self-talk, right? But it's more than self-talk. It's an energetic that actually pulls your life force down. The antidote to shame actually is confidence. Not arrogance, but confidence. Not confidence on a superficial level, but confidence in the core of your being. Confidence in knowing that you are a divine child of God, that you are a brilliant light in and of yourself, that there is no shame in being you. There is no shame in being you. There is no shame. Now, shame is different than guilt or regret. It kind of has that mixed in sometimes, but so often shame is regret for being who we are, as opposed to guilt for doing something that we did that we could have done better, right? So there's a distinguishing factor here. And for today's activation, because we're doing this live, because we're doing this general, for the public to sort of see what we do here, what the work of Transformational Catalyst really is. We're keeping it pretty loose. If you've got shame in you and you want to do some work to clear it, we can most certainly do that. And then we'll be very specific. We'll look for the threads, we'll look for the core, we'll look for the place of origination. I don't know if I say that word right, that place of origin where it originates, right, in our consciousness. So often it's very, very young or even pre-birth, if you believe in that. Hey, Tammy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I saw Zach. I know some other people are around, so thanks for being here. We're talking about shame. As a overall, what we're going to do today is we're going to take a real general feeling, experience of shame, and we're going to transcend it. We're going to bust it, and we're going to discover confidence. So what I was saying was that if we do work together, one-on-one or even in one of the groups that I do, is we get very specific so that we follow your own thread so that we can dismantle it at its core. The dismantling of a belief system, of a habit pattern, of a frequency actually happens on an energetic level, but it impacts each of our, it impacts us holistically. It actually impacts our neurology. So we're changing neural pathways. There was I was talking to somebody last night about this new technique, and I don't know anything about it yet, but we were talking about Rob and his back and this new technique that actually changes your brain waves. And it's a neurologically based technique. I'm going to go check it out. We're going to go check it out. Anyway, this work changes your neural pathways. This work changes your physiology and your biochemistry. This work actually changes everything because we go so deep. It's not talk therapy. It's not thinking therapy. We're bypassing the mind, really, to get to the core. So if we know this, that we are divine, that each and every person born on this planet, and that means you, is beloved. You are here as a fundamental, important, vital, unique aspect of that which we call spirit or creation or God or whatever your theology is. It doesn't matter. But what matters is to know that you belong. You belong on the planet. You are not a mistake. We're already doing some energy work. Can you feel it? You are not a mistake. You are not broken. You are worthy. You are loved. You are valuable. You are imperative to life on this planet. When you come to know that, confidence becomes confidence, gets activated. Confidence in the truth of who you are will move to the forefront of your experience. When confidence moves to the forefront of your experience, then things like shame can be dissolved. Shame can be dissipated. So let's just do that. You want to? So first, it's so counterintuitive, right? First we have to do is activate it. So just activate the feeling of shame, because it's like if you want to go clean your closet, but you don't take anything out, you can't clean it very well, right? So you have to clean it out. You have to bring it out from the dark. The thing about shame is it lives in the dark and it cannot live in the light. The thing about shame is it's a secret disease or virus or vibration, right? We don't want to go around talking about shame. Well, some people do, but generally we don't go around and go, man, I'm feeling so much shame today. It's like, oh yeah, no, we don't do that. We'll go around and go, I'm so angry, or I'm so hurt, or but we don't go, I'm so shamed. But the truth is, if we were to do that in a sacred, safe space, shame would begin to disappear. It would begin to dissolve. Because shame cannot live in the same moment as love. So activate shame. You might think of a place where you've been shamed, or a time when you were shamed, or that feeling that when shame gets activated in you, how it's heavy and you want to hide out, and there's an embarrassment and a self-loathing, and how could I even be, right? And again, it's different than guilt, because guilt is how could I even do, how could I have done, right? Shame is more about it's ourself turning on ourselves in a really destructive manner. So just activate that. Remember a time, remember a feeling. And for me, when that happened recently, for me, when somebody had said something to me, and I just felt it just sort of, it does, for me anyway, it like washes over and under and through, and just, I get tired and lethargic and feel really small, right? So just activate that. There we go. There we go. Do you see when we just take that split second longer to just let it be there, right? With acceptance, with allowance. This shame is not ours. Generally speaking, this shame is not ours. We learned it. We took it on. We believed it. It is not ours. And so we're going to feel that shame rising up. We're going to feel that shame forming. So instead of this subtle sort of blanket over anything, we're going to let it take a shape. Just let it take any shape it wants to. As it takes shape, feel it moving in front of you so that you can see it, so you can see the shape. So what is your shape? Just acknowledge it to yourself, because I want you to stay in the process rather than type in the comments, okay? See the shape. And then when we're going to just blast it out, we're going to just look at it first. I jumped ahead, sorry. We're going to look at it first, look at it, go, wow, you're really heavy. Wow, you really take a lot of my energy, a lot of my awareness. And we're going to set it down. Just right there in front of you. Maybe on the floor, maybe on the ground, maybe on a table. Just set it out in front of you. And then we're going to grab from the core of our being. Like, do this in your imagination, right? From the core of your being. We're going to grab a laser beam of love. This laser beam of love can be given to you, maybe by Jesus or Mary or an archangel or a master, maybe your highest self. Maybe you just see it lying around. It's like, oh, look, a laser beam. I'm picturing my grandsons, especially Xander, has these great swords, right? I'm picturing like this great sword, and some of them have lights in them, and they light up or whatever. So I'm picturing one of those, right? And mine is jeweled, and it's got a gold handle, and it's just beautiful. And it happens to be plastic, just like those kids' ones, but I know it's very powerful. So grab your sword, and then there's this hidden button on it. Just imagine this, just feel it, just become this, just play in this, right? Because the feeling of the lightness of playing actually helps dissipate the real heavy, serious stuff. So I've got my sword, you've got your sword. Hit the button. There's a hidden button right by your thumb. And when you hit the button, it lights up with love. Pure, unadulterated love. Love that is the love of God, that is spirit, that is God itself, that is creation itself. Let it light up with love. Just look at it. Whoa, cool, dude. Take your thumb off. And it goes back to a regular sword, right? So now we're going to look down at that pile, that form, that container of shame. Sword in hand, shame down below or out in front. With the greatest love, we take the sword, we hit the button, it lights up, we point it like a laser beam now. The end of the sword becomes a laser beam right down into the shame. For that shame is not ours. And with love, we dissipate it. Feel like the Star Wars, right? Put that laser beam of love right on the shame and feel it go blasting apart, blasting into 1,000 pieces. If that color was deep and dark and heavy like a charcoal, maybe, whatever color it was for you, feel as you place love into it, as you laser beam love into it, as you break that up with love, that dark color becomes a multicolor. Feel it. Feel it. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Notice what it feels like. Notice what the color is. Notice how that heaviness of shame, as it's busted up by love, becomes like a rainbow of color, becomes a rainbow of light. Feel it. One of two things might happen. It might become love itself, and then you want to just take it in, or it might just float away. The parts that are dark and heavy are not ours. Just let it float away into the universe, up, up, up into the universe, or down, down, down into the ground so nobody else grabs it. Let what remains as love just pour onto yourself. Take a look at your magic sword. Hit the button. Activate that sparkly love. Pure love. Pure love. Bring that sword of pure love back onto yourself, into your crown, and receive the truth. Oh, I am. Oh, I am. I am enough. I am good. I am divine. Ooh, I'm brilliant. Oh, I'm beautiful. I am beautiful. Inside and out. Oh. And feel that sword activating in you a self-love. Feel it activating a self-love. If you have trouble loving yourself, let this process soften the places that are hard. Strengthen the places that you do. If you can't find anything about yourself to love, try your pinky fingernail. I love my pinky fingernail, right? Or that dimple I wish I had. Or the fact that my lungs can actually breathe, or that my heart beats. And allow that self-love to just encompass you. There you go, there you go, there you go. Let that self-love permeate and penetrate the very inner spaces of your being, in your physical body, in your mental body, in your emotional body, in your spiritual body. You are divine. You have everything you need within you. You have access to all the divine ideas that will move you forward in this moment and always forevermore. Feel that self-love coming into and forming like a trunk or a core or a pillar in the center of your being. That is confidence. Confidence. Feel it from the core of your being. Again, it's not egoic or arrogance or any of that. It's just, oh, I am. And I know. And I be. And from I am and I know and I be, we move into I do with confidence. There you go. Nice, nice, nice. Feel that? We're going to integrate that. We're going to just feel a little bit more energetic moving. I am confidence. I trade. I dispel shame to activate confidence. I am confidence. I love myself. There we go. There we go. Did you feel that land in? Awesome. Awesome. Put your hand on your heart. Very tender, very loving, very kind. Be gentle to yourself. Give yourself a treat today. Maybe an extra walk, extra few minutes outside, maybe a nap. Maybe time on phone with a girlfriend or a buddy. And one more time, I am confidence. Awesome. Awesome. I'm Eliza Bloom Robinson, Transformational Catalyst. This activation was shifting shame to confidence. If you would like some support in doing that yourself, my calendar link is right there. I've got some spaces open. I would love to support you and chat with you about how this work might be your next step. Be sure and sign up for the challenge so you get all the recordings and all the information on that. And so tomorrow we'll do our last one, and be excited to be with you again. So share this video, please. Share it about, take heart to it, and be confident. That's it for today. Bye-bye, everyone.